Hi everybody. It's on. It's on. It's on. I plead innocence, okay? When I saw this, I'm like, who wrote this Bible? Because this is definitely not me. Like, you know, I look at Derek, I look at Zhong Sir, look at Roger, I look at many other teams, and I'm like, you know, they really have proven results. And for me, because I have always come from the helping profession, so this is my confession, I have come always from the non-profit sector. I am a trained social worker. So when people ask me, what do you do? I say, if you understand Hokkien, my parents, they say, I做 kaypoh. That means this one is busybody. Okay. But because when you ask me what excites me when I wake up each morning, I will tell you it's one of the C's. I'm going to share with you a couple of C's that define my life. It's to create value to someone today that I know God will bring across my path. Okay? So that is something that I find really drives me to be awake each morning. And for how many of us is ASEA your first MLM company? Yeah, a couple of us, yeah. Thank you. Thanks for joining the club with me. So it's a very strange concept to me, this earn money thing. I'm like, huh? Well, I've always been doing, like charity work, right? Cannot earn money. So it felt very strange. And I want to thank Edwina because it is because of her that she brought to life a concept that we learn in social work. In social work, we say, if you give a person a fish, right? That's the only meal they're going to have. But if you can teach people how to fish, that will last them for a lifetime. And I think for the longest time, when I was in social work, when I was in humanitarian aid, when I was in charity, even though this is the so-called mantra, it's very hard to carry it out in real life because people who are on the social work social services, they will always be in a beneficiary position. And when you receive help as a beneficiary, this is not a very dignified position. My calling in life is to rebuild and restore dignity in the lives of others that God has put across my path. And I saw this working out in ASEA because Edwina taught me how to fish. And I could then put food for my family on the table. And I have permission from my husband to share this. When COVID hit, he is a photographer. We have both, like Derek said, we're parents, right? So we have both made that choice to be there for our kids, to grow up and see them growing up. And we want to be the primary influences in their lives. So I'm able to do ASEA because I have the blessing of my husband. When COVID hit, he was only drawing $450 a month because that was the only photography job that came in for January. And after that, quarantine, right, so shut down for the rest of the year. A person who is single cannot survive on $450 a month, not say a year or family of four, for that matter. But my husband said in his own words, this Plan B income has become Plan A. And thank God for that. Because of that, we can survive. But we don't just want to survive, right? So when my kids always ask me, Mommy, what do you do? What do you do? And I say in the words of Trish Shrinkler, who is one of the top earners in our company, I tell people the truth about health. And truth is not that you need more medicine, you need more drugs. The health is not that, you go and see a doctor, go visit hospitals. In social work, we have this concept of not just remedial approach. When you already need the hospital, you need to see a doctor, that is a remedial approach because that's the worst case scenario. We look into preventive approach, or better still, a developmental approach. And that is what I see ASEA. ASEA is a developmental, preventive, and not just a remedial approach because anybody on planet Earth can use it, babies to elderly. The really sick, but also the really fit. Olympic athletes are on our products. The special needs community use it. Pets and plants use it. So really there is no other supplement out there that works like ASEA. And so for me, one of the things that when people meet me, and I hope that will be your encounter as well, is that they say that I'm a congruent person. Congruence means a lot to me. It means that the person that you see right now is the same person at home, is the same person I'm with my family, it's the same person if I'm alone. And what you see is what you get. And I think I love what Derek pointed out about ASEA, about redox signaling, because it is about communication. But I want to say that what you say is not as important as how the message comes across. So how I communicate to you is more important than what I communicate to you, right? You know, I can say, "Aya, how are you today?" See my face also. How are you today? The tone, the non-verbal cues, our facial expression really brings across the interest that we have in a person. So I want to share with you this acronym. It's my modus operandi. It's the way I operate. I want to share with you life, because Redox is life. L-I-F-E. The first one, anybody I meet. So like Derek, I love to have conversations with people, and I listen out to what people say around me. So the first L, listen intently. Okay, not with any hidden agendas, but I listen fully and I listen intently to what somebody is saying about themselves. I like to find out about people. What does your name mean? What do you do? Where do you come from? How has your day been? The second I is inquire directly. Because I cannot assume that just because they have told me about their day or their boss that they are not happy where they are, right? Or if they have told me that they're not happy where they are, I'm not going to assume that they want to change anything. They may say, I not happy, but then when you ask them, oh, do you want to change? Actually, no. I mean, you've heard this, right? I mean, people complain, very painful, very painful. Do you want things to improve? Yeah, but, you know, there's a but, right? There's a qualifier there. So I will ask them, do you want things to change? Whether it's about your health, or whether it's about your finances, or whether it's about your time freedom. The next one is F. I then find what is the felt need. Not what is the identified need, what I think they need, but it may not be what they really want or they really need. Okay? And I try to also find a common denominator, find out their pain points, right? The last E really is exercise. I exercise empathy and discretion, because maybe they want to change, but it may not be now. Maybe they are thinking about ASEA, but maybe it's 3 months from now. I don't know, so I don't assume, but I exercise empathy, not just sympathy, but understand where they are coming from. Budget constraint, whatever it is, they only have a certain time frame, or maybe they just want to finish out their medicines. So I do, okay, you could either be a KIV, or if you know of somebody else that you think can benefit from this, so that's a referral. Or maybe they really do want to give ASEA a try, just want to go gel, they can be a customer. Or they could be a brand partner because they want the lowest price. Or they say, I start off as customer and then after that I be a brand partner. Is that okay? Totally, totally okay. And then of course the most important, it's in the follow-up, right? 3 months later, don't forget about them. Go back and keep that conversation going. Hey, how are things now? You know, has anything changed? Do you want to do something differently? And I do this because trust is the currency. I am wanting to build the credibility that I'm interested in you, not in you giving me business, not because you can buy something from me. I'm interested in you because you are fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God. And that's why I listen, and that's why I inquire, that's why I find, and that's why I exercise empathy. So this has been how I do my business in that sense. I don't call it my business. To me, it's really about providing a service. It's about being real, connecting with people. So I actually, on the MRT, it's a very good exercise if you like to do it. And I see the number of people who are glued to their phones. I counted with my daughter the other day. 30 people, 28 people were doing this. Their phones, right? Only 2 people. Excluding me and my daughter lah. Then after that, when people woke up, I thought they were going to read a book or something. No, flip out phone. And I think if we can be a breath of fresh air to everybody when we meet them, you know, so that they can see that wow, you're actually interested in me, in my story, in who I am. They'll be a lot more open when you have something to actually meet their needs. So all this while, we don't all have to be doctors, we don't all have to be experts, we don't all have to be knowledgeable about the science, but we can all be interested in people and being a genuinely nice human being that's caring. You know, that is what the Singapore government talks about, right? You know, every person looking out for each other. I want to keep the Gotong Royong spirit going. This is a huge kampong and it is worth it. You will always be worth my time. At least that's what I try to convey in all my meetings with people. Don't ever feel that you're wasting my time just because you didn't sign up or you didn't enroll. I am interested in meeting your needs. If you have a need for referral for somewhere else or some other things can help you, I'm very happy to do that for you. No strings attached. And so thank you so much for listening.
D300 you're going to give me, yes or no? D300, but
Roger, move in. Susan. All of you take a deep breath.